Three. Hello everybody. In today's video we're going to take a look at two-point perspective, and we're going to take a very traditional approach to it. In other words, we're going to approach it just as people have approached linear perspective since the Renaissance. While digital tools offer us all sorts of different tools and techniques for making this process easier of creating realistic three-dimensional spaces, I personally think it's very valuable to look at these older methods as well, because I think they give us a greater appreciation for the development of linear perspective and how our eye perceives the three dimensions of space. In addition, it gives us an opportunity to look at some different tools in Photoshop that will make this linear perspective easier. So let's begin. The first thing I'm going to need to do is enable my rulers. You may already have your rulers enabled and you would see them here and here. I have purposefully disabled them so that I can show you where to enable them if they're not visible right now. And to do so, I'm going to go to View, Rulers. So the first thing I'm going to do now that I have the rulers enabled is bring my cursor up to this top ruler, and I'm going to left mouse drag a guideline into my document here. For this example, I think I'll just put it right here in the middle. I'll also drag a guideline from the left ruler here, and we'll put one here just off of our workspace. And I'll drag another one, which I'll have here just off of the left side of my workspace. Guides are very useful when working in Photoshop, and for what we're going to be doing, working with linear perspective, they're going to serve a purpose of establishing, in this case, a horizon line and two vanishing points, one here and one here. Now, as I always recommend, I'm going to create a layer to work on so that I'm not drawing directly on my background. I'm going to be showing you a couple different ways that you can draw straight lines. So the first example we'll look at will be using the brush tool here. And you already know that when you enable your brush tool, that it's going to draw using your foreground color found here, which of course you can change. And you can simply draw like this. Now, one common thing that people say who think that they cannot draw is, I can't even draw a straight line. Well, in Photoshop, it's very easy to draw a straight line because you can simply click and then shift click, and this will create a line between those 2 points. I'm currently holding down shift and just clicking to create these straight lines here. Let's take a look at yet another way that we can use this brush tool and draw straight lines. I will get rid of this layer, create a new layer for this demonstration here. So not only can we click and then shift click to draw a straight line between any 2 points, but if we want to get lines that are perfectly horizontal or vertical, we can do that as well. And to do that, I'm going to click and then hold down shift and just draw down. And this will give me a perfectly vertical line. Or if I want to get a perfectly horizontal line, same workflow, click, shift, draw, and I can get a horizontal line as well. So let's take a look at how we can use these techniques using our vanishing points and horizon line here. So I've got my brush selected, and I'm going to click here on my one vanishing point. I'm going to click on this vanishing point first. Not that it really matters. You can start from the other vanishing point as well. But I'll go ahead and click on that vanishing point, and then hold down Shift, and I get this straight line. Now I'm going to click here on this, what's going to be the corner of the form that I'll be drawing. And once again, holding down Shift, I'll click over here on this other vanishing point. Come over here to this corner. I'll click, Shift, and draw the corner of what this form is going to be here. Click, Shift click to draw this line. We'll draw another one here. Perhaps we'll draw a corner here, and maybe one here as well. I'm going to join this this corner here. We're going to draw a vanishing point. Sorry, not. We're going to draw a line to the vanishing point on the right side from this corner here. Click, Shift click, and we'll draw one from this corner over to this vanishing point over here. Now if I want to clean up my drawing, what I could do is simply erase the lines that I don't need anymore. Or I could bring down the opacity on this drawing, create another layer, and then just redraw it. Let's draw another box-like form, but this time we'll draw it above the horizon line. Create another layer. And basically go through the same steps. Notice in this case that with our two cube-like forms that we have here, with the cube that is above the horizon line, we can see the bottom of the form, and with the one that is below the horizon line, we can see the top of the form. Here we'll draw one more that will cross the horizon line. We'll take a look at some more tools that we can utilize when drawing our two-point perspective compositions here. So what I'm going to do is once again establish my horizon line. This time I won't put it right in the middle. I'll favor either the top or the bottom. You can choose. Let's favor the top for this example. so that most of what we'll be looking at, it'll be look like we're looking at it from above. Once again, I'll establish 2 vanishing points. Now, one thing I recommend when using 2-point perspective is after establishing your horizon line and your 2 vanishing points, stick to that. Don't go changing your vanishing points. Keep everything in your composition consistent with these 2 vanishing points. Once again, I'm going to create a layer specifically for this, so I'm not drawing on the background, but we're going to take a look at another tool. This time, we're going to go here. Right now I have this rectangle tool, but I'm going to hold down my mouse on this, and I'm going to select the line tool. Now, just as any of these tools in Photoshop, whatever you have selected, it'll show its settings up here. So now that I've established my horizon line and my 2 vanishing points, let's try out this line tool and see how it works. Now I want you to notice that currently it is set to shape. We're going to change that in just a moment, but first let's go ahead and try it out. You can see that the way that it works is that you click, left mouse click, drag, and you can draw a line again between any 2 points. By moving my mouse around, I decide where I want that second point to be, and then I release. But what I want you to notice is that it created a different kind of layer, and it's labeled as shape 1. There's going to be something a little bit easier for us to work with this example. So what I'm going to suggest is instead changing this setting from shape to pixels. I'm going to delete this layer here and create a new layer now that I've changed the setting to pixels. And once again, the tool works more or less the same way. You click, drag, release to draw your line. And of course, you can change the other settings here as well as the weight of it. Currently, I have my line set to 16 pixels. Let's go ahead and maybe make it a little thicker. This is a very easy way to draw straight lines. So let's try this out now. Create another layer. And we'll draw some other forms, just like we did in the previous example. Again, using our vanishing points. I'll click on my left vanishing point, draw a line, release. We'll draw another line from here to this other vanishing point. To draw a horizontal line, I'm going to hold down Shift. Notice that if I hold down Shift and I move my mouse, I can also do a 45-degree or also make a horizontal line. We'll keep a vertical line here. Release. I'll draw from this corner over to this vanishing point, and this corner over to this vanishing point. And if we want a thin, narrow box, I'll perhaps draw a line from here down, and then I'll draw another one from here down. I'll join this corner to this vanishing point, and then this corner to this vanishing point. Using 2-point perspective, we can determine, in this case, this 3-dimensional form and the areas that we can see, but we can also determine the areas that cannot be seen. What I mean is the interior of the box. So to demonstrate that, let's take a look. I'm going to I'm going to draw a line from this corner of this form over to this vanishing point here. I'll draw another line from this corner to this vanishing point. And I'll draw a straight line up from this corner here and up to that corner there. So now we've determined the areas of this rectangular box form. We've determined the areas that would be occluded by the sides of our box. Now, with our two-point perspective drawings, the vanishing points and how these lines converge as they move away from us visually is a strong indication of three-dimensional space. But another way that we can really get the idea of 3D space is through overlapping forms. So in this case, we have this other box that I just created that is obstructing our view of the one behind it. And this gives us a powerful cue of three-dimensional space. In fact, we're not limited to these box shape forms. We can also create things such as ramps. For this example, I'm going to draw a line from this corner here to this corner, and from this corner to this corner. And then I'll clean up my drawing a little. And now I have my completed ramp. So let's take a look at this third example that I've drawn here. I've created another example with two vanishing points in my horizon line, and what I'm going to show you is how you can figure out a couple other things using these two-point linear perspective techniques. So the first thing I'm going to do is determine where the middle of this front of the box is. And to do that, I can simply draw from this corner to this corner, and from this corner to this corner. I'll do the same for the back. And now that I've determined where the middle is, I'm going to draw a straight line up. And I'll draw a straight line from here as well. And then, let's see, I'll draw a line from here to here. I can pick anywhere here, depending on how steep I want this roof to be. And then from here, I can draw from this point to my vanishing point over here, and then draw another line from here to here. And now I'll clean up my drawing. And here it is now. It's starting to look like a house with a roof on top. Let's take a look at a couple other things that we can do before concluding this video. I'm going to draw a line from, let's say, this point down. Now that I've established this line, what I can do is draw once again to my vanishing point, something like this. And I'll draw a line straight down like this. And I'll draw yet another line from here to my vanishing point over here. And once again, I'll spend a little time cleaning up my drawing. And here's my drawing. Working with two-point linear perspective is a lot of fun. It's really like a puzzle.
Try to discover the complicated forms that you can create by establishing a horizon line and two vanishing points. For this example, I'm making some stairs. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.